This is your Neepawa Town Council Debrief for the March the 15th, 2022 meeting. The debrief will take you through the key issues being discussed by Council and provide a bit more information on what they mean for the town.
As Deputy Mayor, when Mayor McCutcheon is not available, I would take the council meetings and that. And
has that ever happened?
Twice, yes.
Okay.
Twice,
Okay.
Yep. Twice I've ran the meetings. And I don't think it fell apart too badly. So, but
for what is apparently the third time in his tenure on council, Deputy Mayor Headley was in the big chair for this week's council meeting. Apparently, we do allow the mayor to have a little time off now and again. In the near future, we will be seeing the new budget come up for a public hearing, but according to Deputy Mayor Headley, that is still 3 to 4 weeks away. Keep an eye out for coverage of the budget as a whole in the NACTV schedule. Another thing you will not see this week is the location of the new hospital. This has yet to be announced, but you can be sure that we'll be sharing it with you as soon as we can. In tonight's meeting, we do see more updates on some ongoing projects, including the local handy van and the revitalization of Park Lake. While Manager of Operations Denise Sakay was not reporting at this meeting, Council did accept a tender for the replacement of the Park Lake Bridge to the tune of about $1.181 million. That amount, to be clear, is funded by the disaster financial assistance that Neepawa is receiving from the provincial government.
So welcome to everybody. Mayor McCutcheon is not available tonight, but certainly we have a nice day, nice evening to have a meeting. It's not 40 below. And so we will start off. All right, council reports. Have we got any council reports tonight? Councillor Gossman.
So the handyman committee met on March 8th. And we are still in the ongoing municipal service delivery improvement program. It's still ongoing, it hasn't quite completed, but hopefully that will be soon. We've had questions regarding mask use, and the handyman has decided to just follow any of the public health guidelines. You're welcome to wear them if you choose to, but they are just going to follow the guidelines. So that's their decision for that one. We did, at our meeting, we were discussing some of the financial burden that the handyman has been seeing because of COVID, but also with the increased cost with fuel, maintenance, everything else. We've decided that as of April 1st, the out-of-town trips, the kilometer rate for the van will go up to 75 cents per kilometer from 65 cents from what it was. The rate for the bus will be $1.25 per kilometer, and it's up from $1.10. The driver pay will remain the same at $16 an hour for out-of-town trips. In-town trips, right now the cost is $4 per trip, and it is going to $5 per trip. We will be selling vouchers at $45 a voucher package, which is 10 trips in there, so that's a savings of $5 for the booklet. If people are wondering, I know some think that that's a pretty big increase. We were looking at Carberry and Minnedosa, their trips are $6, and they've been like that for quite some time, so yeah, the $5 we found was reasonable. We've been talking about doing some fundraising efforts because of the deficit that the handyman is seeing. We are going to partner with the Legion Auxiliary, and that, I have my little info here, is going to be on Friday, May the 13th. We're going to do a roast beef dinner at the Legion. We'll partner with them. What is required there is that we provide desserts, we help serve, and we help sell tickets. So the handyman board members are all willing to do that and help out. So that is on the 13th of May. So everybody buy tickets for a roast beef dinner and help support the handyman. Another thing we are doing starting April 12th is we're planning a progressive 50-50 that will run from our April 12th meeting right up to our AGM, which is June 22nd. So that will be a progressive 50-50. I'll have more information as to how that's all going to unfold. The other thing, as of today, after 10 years plus as treasurer and bookkeeper for the handyman, Judy Albert has decided to resign from her position. On behalf of the entire board and all the handyman members, I want to say thank you to Judy for her many years of service, and I wish her well in her future endeavors. Judy will officially complete her role on the handyman committee as of April 12th. We, the board, will be actively looking to fill this position as soon as possible, but we have not met as the resignation just came in today, so hopefully we'll have more info on that. Okay.
All right, thank you. Yes, fundraising sounds like a very good idea, and unfortunately, the cost of fuel isn't helping the situation.
No.
Councilor.
I just have a question. I had some members of the communities know that we have had a change in the operator of the, is this a permanent position? So this position will be coming up for?
Yes. We have Justin Chilkowski has taken over from Mary Porter, as we had reported last, I think, a couple of councils. I maybe missed that one where Mayor McCutcheon had reported that Mary Porter had resigned,
yes,
and that we had, Justin has stepped in the internship. We have a contract as an intern until June 1st because we are in this review. So once the review comes in, we have everything finalized with that. We can actually have a program put together, contracts put together, and then that will be publicly posted as a position for the handyman.
As of June,
June.
or leading up to June 1st?
It may even be beforehand, once we have everything completed with the review, once our board has finalized any of the contract papers that we've been working on for several months.
I knew that was the case, but I think there's members of the community that were unsure of how that worked. Yes,
It was a very tight timeline when Mary finished. It was very good of Justin to just kind of come forward, take over. I think he had worked with Mary in the past, and that's kind of how this came about. So, but that is just an internship. This job will be posted publicly.
New business, Colleen, going to tell us about a bridge.
So as you know, we're all still remediating from the 2020 flood. It's been a long process. We're actually at the place in time where we want to do the bridge replacement over Stony Creek, or more well known as the Park Lake Bridge. Tenders went out, and we actually had a tender opening last Monday on March the 7th. 4 bids were received based on posting on the MERC site, and we're recommending the bid of Mindy's Moving Limited of $1,181,010.08 as low bid, and just so you know, the bids range from there up to 1.568 million. So low bid was $1,181,000 roughly, and Mindy's Moving it will approve that acceptance of that tender. That included GST, by the way.
All right, any questions, Colleen?
Just I guess one comment is that those funds, because they're all under DFA, there is no obligation on ratepayers of a $1.1 million bridge. Neepawa ratepayers, there is only one taxpayer in Manitoba, and those funds are sitting in DFA, so it's not going to show up on the property tax bills for that bridge to Park Lake.
It'll show up on your financial statements, but it's basically in and out monies from the Disaster Financial Assistance Program.
Yes, good comment. All right, so if I can get a mover for that. Councillor Gerard, seconded. Councillor Pudlow. Be it resolved that we accept the tender of Minty's Moving Limited for the construction of the bridge at Park Lake in the amount of $1,181,010.08, including GST. All in favor? Carried.
Council also passed a motion to apply 10 outstanding utilities amounts to the outgoing tax bills, as is permitted under Section 252 of the Municipal Act, which I will explain in a moment.
6.2, outstanding utilities to property tax.
There's about 10 accounts, as you know, and you're quite often aware, every so many months, usually at the end of the quarter, where utility bills remain outstanding. We asked for a resolution to apply those to taxes. We wouldn't normally do them as often in a year, but Neepawa seems to have a lot of comings and goings with renters changing houses and properties. So we try to keep on top of these to the technically, before the next billing goes out, we're asking for permission to apply 10 outstanding utility accounts to the taxes.
All right, thank you, Colleen. So if that motion is clear, if I can get a mover. Councillor Parrott, seconded, Councillor Gerard. Whereas Section 252 of the Municipal Act authorizes a municipality to collect debts in the same manner as a tax may be collected or enforced under the Act, and whereas there are outstanding utility charges that remain unpaid and uncollectible, therefore be it resolved that all those utility accounts that remain outstanding as of March 16th, 22 from the attached list be hereby added to the property roll. All in favor? Carried.
While most people probably won't be interested in the nitty-gritty, the entirety of the Municipal Act is available online, so we can see what Deputy Mayor Headley is referring to here. Section 252 is entitled Powers Respecting Works Services Utilities, and the specific provision in effect here is in two parts. Clause 1A reads, a municipality may set terms and conditions in respect of users, including setting the rates or amounts of deposits, fees, and other charges, and charging and collecting them. And then Clause 2 reads, a charge referred to in Clause 1A may be collected by the municipality in the same manner as a tax may be collected or enforced under this Act. If you want to see the full text of this section or the entire Act, you can find it at the address on your screen, or a quick search for Manitoba Municipal Act should turn it up as well. Now for some good news for an upcoming event in Neepawa. Council announced they received funding to support the Canada Day celebrations this year.
Correspondence. Colleen?
Two pieces of correspondence. The first is a letter from Canadian Heritage on behalf of the Celebrate Canada funding. We actually made an application in hopes that we would be able to host Canada Day and more importantly have a fireworks display. So we've engaged our people who do the fireworks for us, Archangel, and we were eligible and received approval for the granting amount of $2,100 to be awarded towards the Canada Day activities. So that was nice.
A concern was raised from the public about the speed limit on Davidson near the public pool and park, where particularly during the summer months you'll find a lot of children. Council discusses which options are viable and which aren't for that section of street.
The second is a letter from David Burton regarding the speed limit on Davidson Street. Since the spring and summer traffic will soon start, the big concern is the speed mostly going or coming from the park/pool. There is no way to control with signs or tickets. Is it possible to have portable speed bumps installed at a couple places on the said street? This street is getting more families with children on it. This issue was addressed last year, but it didn't slow the traffic at all. Thank you, David Burton.
Any questions, comments? Yeah, it is unfortunate. The benefit of living in this beautiful community is that we have hills. The disadvantage of living in this community is we have hills. And yes, coming over that hill down Davidson, certainly it's definitely a blind spot there. So we'll certainly take that into consideration.
I would maybe just propose to everybody sitting here, internally we have had discussions about when we end up possibly paving Davidson Street. We're going to do the walk up past the new Kin build there for sure. At some point we're probably going to recommend the paving go right down to the bottom of the hill. The idea at that point is to take a look at how sidewalks can be installed over there. So there is a future possibility there. Right now we'll do the best we can, but to put temporary speed bumps just, I would suppose, complicates things. It could be possible, certainly. But Denise here, I can't ask him to comment on what improvements we can make, so when he's back next week, we'll see if he knows something that would alter the course of the draft.
Okay, thanks, Colleen.
As well, we have a couple of quick business items, including the passing of a zoning bylaw that is necessary for the applicant to begin the process with the Regional Planning Board, and the second and third readings of the elections bylaw that was introduced at the last meeting.
Now we are at zoning bylaw. Colleen?
So just to clarify, before I read you what this is not for you to judge whether you're going to approve the zoning amendment or not. This is just part of the process that allows you to request community and regional planning on Brandon to create the map and the bylaw that you will bring forward for first reading eventually. Then it goes through circulation with the province of Manitoba for comments on the zoning. So there is a process in place. This is only the first step. You are not judging whether you approve it or not, or whether there be conditions attached. The resolution, that's all it reads, is that we request community and regional planning to create that bylaw. But just so you know, below, firsthand, it is basically, the owner is 1012550 Manitoba Limited. The applicant is Warren Mills. Just to clarify, this is the same people that are actually doing the Hawken development for Crescent Creek. Sorry, I can't remember the name of it. Crescent Creek Developments, basically just west of our public works yard. So what they're looking at is the parcel 1 plan 5695, parcel 8 plan 5428, and parcel 3 plan 5847. This is land basically north of 123 Main Street West and directly west of West Park Place. So the people that bought the parcel that was before known as the Hawken property, west of the public works yard on Gill Drive, also bought West Park Place and the property that was associated with it. They want to rezone the noted properties from the current industrial light zone to a proposed residential multi-unit zone to allow for the location and construction of multi-unit, multi-floor residential developments on the noted property. And on your screens you will have some zoning maps that show you that the zoning currently being light industrial, and also just kind of a site plan suggesting it's going to be 2 builds on that particular property. So like I say, you're not really judging from now, you're just asking for the creation of bylaw by community and regional planning, which will come to your table for further discussion about whether there's conditions or not at a later date.
Okay, thank you, Colleen. Any questions on that? Okay, if not, I'm going to move around this zoning bylaw. Moved by Councillor Parrott, seconded by Councillor Kostenchuk. Be it resolved that the Council of the Town of Neepawa request community and regional planning to prepare bylaw number 3215-22 to give effect to amending the Town of Neepawa zoning bylaw number 3184-18 for the rezoning of parcel 1, plan 5695, and parcel A, plan 5428, and parcel 3, plan 5847, north of 123 Main Street West, west of West Park, from the current ML light industrial light zone to the proposed RM2 residential multi-unit 2 zone. All in favor? Carried. All right, Colleen, bylaws.
So last meeting you did first reading on a bylaw for the use of municipal resources in an election. As noted at that time, this is a required bylaw under the legislation now to propose that anybody that was getting an advantage of using municipal resources, whether it be the photocopier, whether it be the logo, whether it be just how you would represent yourself if you were already an incumbent councillor and saying re-elect, Mayor McCutcheon, I use it as an example. It's you reword it and say re-elect Blake McCutcheon for mayor. So there is certain provisions now to make sure that every candidate that runs an election is given no better privilege than anybody else, incumbent or not, in an election by the use of resources. So in the 40-day period before an election, these restrictions apply. And tonight will be second and third reading.
All right. So for second reading, if I can get a mover. Councillor Nadeau, seconded by Councillor Costa. Be it resolved that the bylaw 3212-22 being a bylaw of the town of Neepawa to establish rules and procedures for the use of municipal resources in any election, be now read for the second time. All in favor? Carried. Okay, and now for the third reading, and this is a recorded vote. So moved by Councillor Pudlow, seconded by Councillor Costa. Be it resolved that bylaw 321-22 being a bylaw of the town of Neepawa to establish rules and procedures for the use of municipal resources in any election be now read for a third time and passed. All in favor? Okay. Against? Carried.
And finally, Councillor Parrott shares a private member statement about Neepawa from our MLA, Eileen Clark, that she read in the legislature on March the 9th.
I'm wondering if it would be permissible to read our Minister of Municipal Affairs letter that she read off in the legislature.
Oh, yes.
Good for that? So this is the private member statement. Agassiz MLA Eileen Clark read this March 9th, 2022, in reference to the town of Neepawa. Madam Speaker, it gives me great pride to recognize and acknowledge the hard work and efforts that Manitobans have put into their communities during the challenging last 2 years. Those in leadership roles and business in our communities have worked endlessly to support and maintain their city, town, municipality, and neighborhoods. I would like to take this opportunity to recognize one of these examples in my constituency and pay tribute to the town of Neepawa. Since 2016, Census Neepawa has seen a 23.3% increase in population, making it the third largest growth in the province and the 13th fastest growing community in all of Canada. Not only has Neepawa seen an incredible population growth, but more in particular is the significant economic growth in the last 2 years. It is clear the COVID pandemic did not slow down the progress of this thriving rural community. With such significant growth, housing becomes the top priority, and Neepawa is certainly working to meet those needs. With 2 new senior complexes built, new family units under construction, and several housing developments breaking ground, all of which impact the housing front. It is exciting to see the population grow like this in rural Manitoba, and with new growth comes new investment and opportunity. During the last year alone, the town has seen many new businesses and organizations transition and expand. The town hopes to add a water slide to its recreation options and Best Westerns to its list of hotel accommodations. A thank you to Mayor Blake McCutcheon and Council and CAO Colleen Sinchishan and the Economic Development Officer Marilyn Crew and office staff. This has been an unprecedented time in our history, and it has not been easy, but you have all gone above and beyond the call of duty and continue to work through the many challenges brought on by COVID. I want to say thank you for your vision, your strategic planning, and continued commitment to the economic development and growth in rural Manitoba and your town. I look forward to the future developments and successes in the town of Neepawa. Keep up the great work as Manitoba continues to grow and build stronger. Thank you, Madam Speaker. And that was Eileen Clark, MLA and Director of Municipal Affairs.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Barrett, and thank you, Minister Clark, for very nice comments, and certainly we'll continue to work and live up to your expectations as well. Any further comments? If not, I am very hesitant to call for adjournment here. Mayor McCutcheon is going to be watching this and saying, you obviously missed page 2 or something, the meeting went too fast.
Well, one other comment was part of our growth and our ability to grow within budget was our town public works staff being able to do a lot of the infrastructure work
Yes,
themselves.
very true. Yeah.
They saved an incredible amount of money because they are capable.
Yeah, no, that's exactly right. And there's a lot of savings in not having to be tendering and waiting for tenders, and, you know, there's time savings in that. So
Yeah.
you're absolutely right.
And then there's our fire department.
Greatest fire department on earth, yeah. Yeah.
You can view end-to-end coverage of the Town Council meeting elsewhere in the NACTV schedule, including immediately following this. We welcome your feedback on this program, and if you have questions or items that you'd like to see clarified or discussed, you can reach us at 204-476-2639 or by email at nactvnews@gmail.com. Thanks for joining me, and I hope to see you next time.